All right. Thank you very much, Ma. And thank you very much, sir, for the session. It was impactful and eye-opening. So, in a world filled with different distractions and all of that, we want to learn, we want to know more, we are inquisitive and all of that. How do we increase our attention span? Thank you. Both medically and what's it called? Um, every,
We get. Sir. Any more questions, please? All right. Sir, are you?
Thank you very much, sir, for the session. I was greatly blessed. So my question for you is this: how do you keep your passion and focus, sir? Especially when the needs and the happenings of life happen. I mean, for example, you are trying to maybe you are trying to pay for some things, that some pledges, or you are trying to provide for your house, for your family. Like, how do you keep your eyes on the goal, on the passion, especially when there are so many things that are striving for your attention?
Thank you. Any more question?
My question is, um, in our contemporary world, we now have different information easy to get. So, and there are some that are very complex in the sense that you need um, professionals to be able to break them down for understanding. So, I would love you if you could help us with procedures in order to go make right research and get accurate result for purpose and career path.
Thank you. One more person. How many questions can we have? Please, two more questions.
Thank you. My question is, what do you do in a situation where you started in a sector that you're very passionate about, but you find yourself transitioning to a another different sector? Do you just leave the other one, or you try to merge the two together?
All right, last question.
Okay, thank you very much, sir. So I just want to ask that being a medical student, it's already quite tasking, having a lot on your plate to learn a lot of things. And then now you want to go into probably AI in medicine, even as a student, or probably programming in medicine or something, anything that is extra medicine, but then you can apply to medicine. How do you balance or manage your time with medicine? Because medicine, being a student alone, being an house officer, being a resident doctor alone is a lot on itself. So how does a person manage his time to ensure that these things are get done? Thank you, sir.
Thank you. Please, if you have questions, you can write them down. The ushers would go around to collect our questions and to be answered by other speakers. Thank you, sir.
Thank you. Um, um, is this working? I'm sorry I have to leave. I would have loved to stay here and listen from every other speaker. That's the truth. Ẹni tó bá fi ọgbọ́n ọlọ́gbọ́n ṣọgbọ́n is wise. Wisdom has no age limit. Doesn't mean that I'm older, I'm wiser at all. And I would have loved to stay, but I have to leave. I have not been in Ife for 2 weeks and I have a hospital to run. How do we increase our attention span? Right? We have said you should be focused. We have said you should be intentional. You should be deliberate. But there are many things that would distract you. True or false? The first thing is not to use any substance. Some people believe that when they use some substance, they can focus, they can study, they can do this. Starting with coffee. Coffee is good. Coffee is a plant. Coffee helps even the liver even to regenerate itself. Coffee is a stimulant, but too much of it, what happens? Coca-Cola, the name Coca-Cola, the person who created it did not create it as a drink. He created it as a substance to be used by upwardly mobile people of that generation. And it was a marketing flop. But there was an occasion in his house where he could not even provide drinks for people, and they went diluting it. And everybody loved it. But the long and short of what is in Coca-Cola is cocaine and caffeine. I would advise you to stay away from substances. I don't focus on any other thing. I can't focus on any other thing. I may be a lucky person, but my focus is one thing. The same thing I tell my children, the same thing I tell myself every day. I can do all things through that strengthens me. Mi ò ní ẹbọ méjì on how to focus. If I know I have something to do, I use this a lot. It's called Android phone. I put what I am to do in 2 weeks' time there. I put what I'm to do tomorrow there. And I look at it. It's no different than using a diary. It is actually a diary. But you must have learned to use a diary in real life before you start to use the electronic diary. If you jump on an electronic diary and you don't set notifications away from this phone, the notification that would distract you will even be read your Bible. I'm not supposed to read Bible at work. I'm a Christian, but that's not where I'm supposed to read it. Do you understand? That would be, the Bible can be a notification to read Bible, can be a distraction at work. So I don't have notifications. I keep those ones away. I focus on my time. I am intentional about my day. Some people will have had their day at 4 o'clock, then they start to call you. They have had their day. I'm still at work. 8 o'clock, mi ò tíì kúrò ńbẹ̀. So if you come to my house, I won't open the door. It may seem as if I am, it's not social. I am social when it's time to be social, not when I'm at work. You have to be focused. You must be intentional about it. Tick, says the clock. Tick, tick. What you have to do, do quick. I wouldn't do what I'm supposed to do in the evening. Do it at night. I wouldn't do what I'm supposed to do in the morning. Do it in the afternoon. First things first. Tí n bá ṣe tán, tí time bá kù, mo lè wá máa bẹ́ẹ̀ ṣeré. Why tí mo máa bẹ́ẹ̀ ṣeré nígbà tí mi ò tíì ṣe nǹkan tí mo prioritize? So every day for me is intentional, including sleep. Orun ò kì í gbé mi lọ. Ibo ló ń gbé ẹ lọ? Mo máa ń sùn ni. I switch off when I am done. I am done for the day. God, can I sleep? Even the job I have right now, I tell my own PA, I am a PA. You are just PA to the PA. Olúwa ló ní. When I'm leaving, God, I'm really fagged out. Can I go? Then I go, and my wife will say, only soon within 1 minute. It's a lie. I switch off. It's time to sleep. And I will wake up deliberately. If I don't wake up, then that means that's the day he wants to take me home. But if it wakes me up today, there is a purpose for that day. That is what you do in the morning. Yorùbá ní òwúrọ̀ ní ọjọ́. Don't waste your òwúrọ̀, whether youth or every day. Be intentional with your courses, with your career, and then you will have enough time And that's how God planned this life. He woke up, created, looked at it, monitoring and evaluation of the day. I don't sleep off. I evaluate that day, audit every day, least you fail, least you fall. And then thereafter, I switch off. Thank you, God. I praise and I sleep. So you must be intentional. And don't try to use drugs to achieve that. Drugs initially will help you. Then you need more to do less. Then you need much more to do same. You get to addiction. And then without those drugs, you will not function. And they damage even the little you had before eventually. How do you keep your passion in focus? I just avoid distractions. Ojú kan làdá mi máa ń ní. Tí n bá dẹ̀ ṣe tán, I'll go to the next thing. I am not an Android phone. I can't multitask. Some people say they are jack of all trades. Owó kan ni Ìjẹ̀ṣà máa ń ṣe. Owó kan. If I want to be a pediatric cardiologist, and I want to be a microbiologist, and I want to be an AI test, I'll probably not be good in any. Focus on one thing. It may be difficult for a young person to know what to focus on, but that is why it is called life. Live it intentionally. Seek wisdom. Seek mentors. Focus on whatever is at hand. Whatever you find your hand on now, do it well. David became a leader, leading? No. Ó ń da ẹran, ó dẹ̀ ń dà dáadáa. Tí nǹkan bá dẹ̀ fẹ́ pa àwọn ẹran yẹn, he could have said, èmi ò mọ kí lion pa. But he learned to tackle the problems on what was at hand. All those skills, that's what she's telling you. Along the way, they will matter when it matters. It may not matter today. Focus on each day. Everything will come to play. That is called life. Everything will focus later. When God took me to physiology and when I was teaching in nursing school, and then I came back to medicine, and now I'm leading a hospital. I learned to respect beyond my colleagues alone. I respect the nurses, I respect the lab man much more than my colleagues. I understand them more than. In fact, some people will think you are too close to. No, you can't exist as an island. In our contemporary world, we now have a barrage of information. How do we make a head or tail of this? Paraphrased. And some people were like that too. Apollos we know, this we know. Test every spirit. And that's why you should seek wisdom and continue to learn. Test every spirit, but seek wisdom. Every day read. It will amaze you that I'm a student as we speak. It will amaze you. I've been a professor for 10 years. Kilo tunwa. But between my professorship and now, this is my 3rd degree. I don't have to advertise it. I don't have to use it for job. I'm using it for self-development. I'm using it for self-development. When I was learning to use the Excel, I never knew I was going to be an administrator. Did I? In fact, I never was an HOD. I became head of a hospital when I had not even finished a 2-year term of HOD, not a 3rd one. But there were things I had studied and was studying, including people, learning person interaction, learning communication, learning presentation. That you are studying law doesn't mean you mustn't learn how to present. That you are studying physics does not mean you must not learn how to write. There are 2 more questions and then I would round off. I am sorry. How do you do in a different sector coping with transition? I have been intentional, as I said. Omi ò ń gbé mi, atẹ́gùn ò dẹ̀ ń gbé mi. I don't try to live such a life. I'm sorry, I would not be able to answer your question. I will wait for the pastors and other persons to say. Whatever they say, please, Sister Nifemi, send it to me too. I would like to learn. Because I don't know about going to another sector. I have deliberately lived a life of this is where I am going. I don't live kátẹ́gùn gbé mi. O fẹ́ wọ school, o fẹ́ study law, wọ́n wá fún ẹ ní English. I wouldn't live that life. Nobody gives me anything. I take what I want. That is how I have tried to live my life. Tí ò bá dẹ̀ ti bá mi lọ́rùn, I go. I don't look at people. I look at God. It may not be that for you. I don't know. So I've never found myself in a situation where I'm changing sector. I would lie if I tell you I know that. The last question, I'm sorry, where did I put? Yes. Additional skills and knowledge acquisition in medicine. How do you cope? You have to cope. It's called sacrifice. It's called sacrifice. When others are doing something else and you are investing in studying, when others are partying and you are not, that's how you cope. It's called self-denial. Gbogbo nǹkan tó dùn, bí màá tó máa ń ṣe skit kan ṣe máa ń sọ nìyẹn. Gbogbo nǹkan tó dáa, gbogbo ẹ̀kọ́ ni jíjẹ. Àsìkò jíjẹ yìí máa wà. Use your youth, that strength that you have. I used to play football. I can't run anymore. I used to climb. I could climb this place without touching anything. I can run and do this, but I can't do that anymore. I had skills that were good for the period of youth. What should you learn now is what will take you to the future. You can read the past to have an understanding of things, and you should. History is very good. I speak a lot of Yoruba. Odò tó bá gbàgbé orísun ẹ̀, àgbẹ̀. You must learn who you are. History is good to learn. You will wonder how a professor of medicine studies history. Because I would, at least in history, know things they've tried to do that failed. I won't waste my time doing it again. So if I'm going to read about anything, even in administration, even a disease, I will read about the history of that disease. I will learn about that. But I don't take my time towards distractions. I am not all work and no play. I don't advise that for anybody. What I in fact tell my children and my students, even my colleagues at work, is work hard, play harder, and pray best. I work hard. I play hard. None of you can beat me in PS5. None of you. I am sure of that. None of you can. None of you can. None of you can beat me in that game called chess. I played the National Open at the age of 6, and I got to the quarterfinal. I play. I work hard. I play harder, but you pray best. I went through hell this week. You are in a plane and it's taking off and it couldn't take off. And then you are going, okay, I'm not going to where I'm going again. Your family is coming. From nowhere, a vehicle hits them. In fact, the person died. I knew it wasn't time to work hard. It wasn't time to play hard. I went into a hotel. Nobody knew where I am. And it is finished there first, before you then see the manifestation. God bless you.
Thank you so much, sir. Thank you.